everybody, it's Ryan. Today I'm going to show you how to install a 16GB RAM kit. This kit is offered by Kingston. It is the HyperX Fury model in white, and it runs at 1866 MHz. Let's do this. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to hit that kill switch on the back of your power supply unit. Hit that switch off, then unplug the power supply unit. That way you've got no power running to your PC. At that point, you can then unplug all of your accessories and peripherals. As you can see, I have a ton of stuff plugged into my computer, so this could take a minute. Next, you're going to want to pick your workstation. You want it somewhere that's well lit and not conducive to producing static electricity. For example, you want to stay away from carpet. Carpet is known to produce static electricity, which can be harmful to the components of your PC. The goal of the next step is to remove the side panel. Every PC case is going to be slightly different. However, for the most part, you're going to have a high and a low screw, and the panel will slide to the back and then lift off. The next step is to position the PC so that you can work on it. When installing RAM, you're going to have to put a lot of pressure onto the motherboard. And if you're not holding the other side, you could potentially knock your tower over. So in this particular upgrade, it's best to put the computer on its side. Would you look at the dust on this thing? So once I got the computer onto its side, I noticed that the intake air filters were disgusting. So if your computer has removable filters like mine, go ahead and take them out, wash them off, and put them back in. Whenever you have your computer unplugged, taken apart like this, that's a great opportunity to go ahead and clean it. Dust can limit airflow inside your computer, which could potentially raise the temperature and hinder your performance. So in order to get your PC performing as well as it should, you always got to keep it clean. Now we got to get the motherboard ready for the RAM itself. So the first thing you do is you unlock those little latches. Those are essentially retainers that help the RAM stay locked in. You got to make sure those are propped open. Usually there's just one on the top, and the bottom is generally fixed. However, some motherboards have latches on both sides. Now we got to get the RAM out of its packaging. So I took a knife and I carefully sliced open the side there, like so. And then don't forget to put the knife down when you're done using it. Safety first. And then you can open the packaging and put the RAM in. Now we can finally put the RAM in. So before you touch anything inside the computer case, make sure you ground yourself. So touch either the power supply or the metal frame of the computer itself. Then carefully grab the RAM stick, being careful not to touch the pins. But take note of that little notch at the middle of the RAM stick. That has to line up with a pin inside the RAM slot itself. So make sure those two line up. And then put the RAM in straight up and down, not at an angle, just perfectly straight up and down. And then using a little bit of force, you have to push the RAM stick in. Once the RAM stick is in all the way, you should hear a nice positive click. And that is the latch itself that you opened earlier, securing itself to the RAM. So once that's in, you just go ahead and repeat the process for the other RAM stick. Here's what it looks like with all 4 sticks installed. As you can see, I'm using 2 16GB RAM kits to make one 32GB RAM kit. Now, this happens to work with this particular model on my particular motherboard, but before you go out and buy 2 16GB RAM kits to make 32GB RAM kit, do your research. Kingston's got something called plug and play, which allows your computer to recognize what RAM is in there and set the timings accordingly. So, I just plugged these in, turned my computer on, the BIOS recognized it, and the timings were set, and the speeds were already at 1866, so I didn't have to do any overclocking, messing around with timings or voltages or anything like that. So do your research before you commit to buying something like this. Okay, now for the ridiculous part. I'm trying to put my freaking side panel back on. So just because of the way my PC case is designed, it's got these little catches that you have to get all 4 corners to line up perfectly before this thing will slide on the way it's supposed to. So using both hands and my face, I was able to get this on eventually, but for some reason it's just ridiculously hard. Alright, well that will about do it for this video. If you found it to be somewhat informational or mildly entertaining, go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't, you know what to do. Thanks again for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe.